Yeah, yeah, yeah. Welcome to Beyond the Block, everything crypto. Welcome to Beyond the Block, everything crypto.
Hey, crypto fam. You looking into Bitcoin dominance? Smart move. It's one of the things that can really help you understand the market, especially now, when things feel a little shaky, kind of like shaking out the paper hands, right? We're going to get into all of that today. And get this, Bitcoin dominance going up doesn't automatically mean Bitcoin itself is going up in price. It's more complicated than that.
That's right. It's really about the flow of capital within the entire crypto market, not just Bitcoin's price on its own. Really fascinating stuff.
Okay, so let's break it down. Bitcoin dominance, what does that even mean?
Well, it's just the percentage of the total crypto market cap that belongs to Bitcoin. You can think of it like a pie chart of all the money in crypto. Bitcoin's slice is its dominance.
Okay, makes sense. But how do we actually calculate that? Sounds kind of complicated.
No, not at all. It's super simple. You just take Bitcoin's market cap, divide it by the total market cap of all cryptocurrencies, and then multiply by 100 to get the percentage. Easy peasy. And that one number tells you how much power Bitcoin has at any given time.
So why should we even care about this percentage?
Well, it tells you a lot about what people are thinking and where the smart money is going, for example. When things are uncertain and people are scared, they often go to Bitcoin, like it's a safe place.
Right. Like when the whole market is dipping, Bitcoin seems like the safest bet.
Exactly. And that's when Bitcoin dominance goes up, which can be scary for people who are new to this, especially if it feels like their other coins are doing worse.
It's like everyone's trying to get out, and Bitcoin is the nearest exit.
Ha, yeah, perfect analogy. But here's the thing. Sometimes dominance goes up, even when Bitcoin's price isn't going up that much. And this is where it gets interesting.
Wait, so even if Bitcoin's price is flat, dominance can still go up?
Yep. It means that money might be flowing out of other coins and into Bitcoin. So dominance goes up without the price of Bitcoin going crazy.
So it's not always about Bitcoin going up. It's about the other coins going down. That's a subtle difference, but I see what you mean.
Exactly. And that's why it's so important to track. It tells a different story than just looking at Bitcoin's price alone.
Okay, so we've got these paper hands panicking, and Bitcoin dominance might not mean Bitcoin is skyrocketing. So what else should we be looking at here?
You got to look at the big picture. What's up with those other coins? Are they doing bad? Are there cool new projects that are getting attention? It's all connected.
So it's not just about Bitcoin's price. It's about how it's doing compared to everything else.
You got it. It's all about relative strength.
Okay, I'm starting to get it. But it's still a little confusing. Can you help us understand this relationship a little better? Like between Bitcoin dominance and those other coins?
Sure. So they often have what we call an inverse relationship, meaning when one goes up, the other tends to go down.
So if dominance is rising,
Yeah.
it means those other coins, the altcoins, are probably doing bad.
Yeah, that's usually what happens. Remember, when people get scared, they run to Bitcoin, they sell their altcoins, and that pushes altcoin prices down. And Bitcoin dominance up?
Right, makes sense. But you said earlier that dominance can go up, even when Bitcoin's price isn't doing that much.
Right. It's all about where the money is flowing. So let's say Bitcoin's price is kind of steady, but investors are getting nervous about the market. What do? They start selling their altcoins and putting that money into Bitcoin because they see it as more stable. So more money goes into Bitcoin, dominance goes up, even if Bitcoin's price isn't going crazy high.
So it might not be about Bitcoin going up,
Right.
but about those altcoins going down. That's a really important point.
Exactly. And here's where it gets even more interesting. This whole relationship, it plays out in cycles.
Cycles. Tell me more about these cycles.
Imagine a pendulum swinging back and forth between Bitcoin and altcoins. When it swings toward Bitcoin, dominance goes up, and altcoins often suffer. But when it swings back towards altcoins, that's when we see altcoin season.
Altcoin season. Music to my ears. But seriously, how do we know when that's going to happen? What should we be looking for?
Ugh, that's the tricky part. We got to look at a few things. First, what's the overall feeling in the market? Is the fear starting to fade? Are people feeling more confident, more willing to take risks?
So if the fear's going away,
Yeah.
that could mean altcoin season is coming.
It could be a sign, yeah. Another thing to look at is Bitcoin itself. Is its price kind of leveling off after a big jump? Is dominance maybe weakening a little, even if it's still pretty high overall?
Okay, so we're looking for signs that Bitcoin is slowing down, even if it's still the big dog.
Right.
And when we see those signs,
Yeah,
that might be when altcoins have their chance to shine.
exactly. It's like Bitcoin is taking a break, letting the rest of the market catch up. And those are the times when we can see some big gains in altcoins.
This is all starting to click.
Yeah.
But how do we actually track these cycles? Like, can we see this pendulum you're talking about?
We can. That's where technical analysis comes in. Bitcoin dominance actually has its own chart, just like Bitcoin itself. We track it as BTCD. And by looking at that chart, we can see trends and patterns that can help us predict these cycles.
Hold on, so we're not just looking at the Bitcoin price chart. We need to watch the BTCD chart, too.
You got it. It's like a secret weapon for crypto traders. It gives you a whole new way to look at things. For example, remember we talked about Bitcoin dominance making lower highs? Well, on the BTCD chart, you might see what's called a descending triangle.
A descending triangle. What's that?
Imagine drawing a line, connecting those lower highs, and then another line connecting the lows. You get a triangle shape.
Okay, so we see this triangle. What does that tell us?
It's often a sign that things are going down, that Bitcoin dominance might be about to break down.
So if we see that triangle in the BTCD chart, it could mean altcoin season is coming.
Could be a big clue, yeah. And you want to be ready for that.
This is like we're cracking the code here.
Yeah.
But it also sounds a bit risky. How do we know for sure when these cycles are going to change?
There are never guarantees in crypto. But by understanding these cycles and using tools like the BTCD chart, we can make smarter decisions. Remember that Warren Buffett quote, "Be fearful when others are greedy, and be greedy when others are fearful."
Oh yeah, classic. How does that apply here?
Well, think about it. When everyone's piling into Bitcoin and dominance is going way up, that could be a sign that people are getting too greedy. Time to be careful. But when everyone's scared and selling all their altcoins, that's when you might find some opportunities. Time to be greedy, but smart about it.
I see what you mean. We got to watch for those moments when fear turns into greed and greed turns into fear, and Bitcoin dominance can help us see that.
Exactly. It's all about the psychology of the market. And remember that these cycles take time. They don't happen overnight. There will always be ups and downs along the way.
So patience is key, right? We can't just buy and sell based on every little change.
Right. It's about the long game. And being ready for those ups and downs. Knowledge is power. The more you know about Bitcoin dominance, the better you'll do in crypto.
This has been so helpful. But before we wrap up, I have one more question. We've talked a lot about fear and greed. But what about people who just want to protect their money? What about them?
Great question. Even if you're not actively trading, understanding Bitcoin dominance can help you protect your capital when fear takes over. And people start moving money into Bitcoin. It could be a sign that things are getting riskier. That might be a good time to think about selling some of your riskier altcoins and maybe even putting more money into Bitcoin or stable coins, things that are seen as safer.
So even if you're not trying to make a quick profit, Bitcoin dominance can help you manage risk.
Absolutely. It shows you that the market is always changing and you need to adapt.
Well said. This has been a really eye-opening deep dive. But before we let everyone go, let's go over some of the main points.
Sure. So first, Bitcoin dominance is just a way to measure Bitcoin's market share compared to the whole crypto market. It helps us understand trends and what people are thinking. Second, remember that Bitcoin dominance and altcoins, they kind of move in opposite directions. When dominance goes up, it usually means money is flowing into Bitcoin. Maybe people are selling their altcoins to buy more Bitcoin. This happens when the market is down and people want safety. And it can also happen when Bitcoin is starting to go up, like at the beginning of a bull run. On the other hand, when Bitcoin dominance is going down, that's often a sign of altcoin season, meaning money is flowing into those altcoins, and they might be doing better than Bitcoin. Third, remember that chart we talked about? The BTCD chart. Looking at that chart can really help traders. You can look for patterns like that descending triangle, which might mean that altcoins are about to take off. And lastly, remember what Warren Buffett said. Be fearful when others are greedy, and be greedy when others are fearful. That's so true in crypto, when everyone's super excited about Bitcoin and dominance is going through the roof. That might be a sign to be careful. But when everyone's scared and selling everything, that might be a good time to buy. But be smart about it.
Wow, that's a great summary. I think I finally get it. It's like, we're not just trading Bitcoin or altcoins. We're trading the relationship between them. And Bitcoin dominance is the key to understanding that relationship.
You got it. It's about connecting the dots, seeing the flow of money, and understanding that these markets move in cycles. Remember those paper hands we talked about? They're the ones who freak out and sell when things get uncertain. But if you understand the cycles, you can actually use them to your advantage.
So even when the market is going down
Hmm.
and people are getting shaken out, it doesn't necessarily mean the good times are over.
Exactly. Market cycles are normal. There will always be ups and downs. The important thing is to stay calm. Don't make decisions based on your emotions. Look at the fundamentals, understand what's happening, and use tools like Bitcoin Dominance to help you navigate the market.
Okay, one last question before we wrap things up. You said that if Bitcoin dominance is high, but stablecoin dominance is also going up, it might not be as bad as it seems. Can you explain that a bit more?
Of course. So that situation tells us that some people are moving to Bitcoin for safety, but others are putting their money into stablecoins. Maybe they're waiting for a better time to buy altcoins. Or maybe they just want to keep their money safe. This could actually be a good sign. It means there's still a lot of money out there, just waiting to come back into the market.
So it might not be panic, it might just be people being strategic.
Exactly. There's always more to the story than what you see on the surface.
Well said. This has been an amazing deep dive. Thanks for breaking it all down for us
My pleasure.
and for our listeners. We'll leave you with one final thought. If Bitcoin dominance is high right now, but stablecoin dominance is also rising, what did that tell us about how people are feeling? Are they really as scared as some people think? We encourage you to check out the resources we mentioned and see what you think. Until next time, happy hodling.
Everything crypto, crypto, crypto.